Today I'm speaking to John Irvin from Vision Shop about websites and online content, and hopefully we can have an interesting conversation, and you might be able to learn something, hopefully. John, websites are pretty misunderstood by most people, even if they've got their own. What would you say is the biggest misunderstood part of getting a website designed for yourself, for your business?
I'd say firstly the cost. I don't think people understand how much they should be paying and what exactly they're paying for. So it's important that the developer or the development team or the agency, whoever it's going to be, tells you what you're paying for. And secondly, make sure there's no hidden costs. Like if you want a contact form added in there, are you going to have to pay an extra £20-30, or is that within the actual package? People get quite confused, and it can build up from being £200 to £500. And obviously then the client's not got that kind of money, so that's probably the most useful kind of thing.
So not stating clearly in the beginning what you want and what you're hoping to get.
Should set a brief out of what you want, and then it helps the developer down the line as well, because they're not like second guessing what you want, what you require. So write a brief out, and then if you go from there, it's not much stuff which should go wrong, really, to be honest.
Sure. And again, similar sort of question, what's the biggest mistakes people make? Or even when I say mistake, even if they got their site delivered to them and they paid for it, what is the biggest mistakes in terms of either their attitude or what they do with it, or even getting it designed in the first place?
I think, first of all, aside from the design, they should make sure the website suits their branding. So let's say you have a red logo. If you've got a blue website, it's not really going to look very good, is it? So that's the first thing. And then secondly, once you've got the website delivered, is keeping the content updated. Let's say you've got an e-commerce site and you've got an offer on from like November to December. Someone goes on it in January and you've still got that offer, like the banner up there. It's not going to look good, is it? Because the offer's obviously not on. So update content, make sure the design suits your branding, and understand your website and what you want your website to do. So they're the main three things, to be honest.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's good advice. A lot of websites these days are WordPress themes.
Yeah.
Website. How's WordPress changed website design in
the
last few years?
Now non-technical people have more control over their websites, which is a good thing now, because if you've got, let's say, you've got an e-commerce site or a portfolio website and you want to update your content, if it's developed in, let's say, PHP, I won't go into the languages because it's like I'm not going to.
Sure.
But if you've got like your WordPress, all you have to do is log in and you can change your content. It's like changing a Word document. It's that simple. So I guess that's the main benefit. And websites can be made quicker in WordPress because they're more customizable, and the build's already there, so the CMS is already in place. So yeah, it just makes everything easier for the non-technical person and the developers as well.
Sure. Yeah, everyone kind of wins.
Yeah.
Again, what with the event of smartphones and tablets and stuff, people using conventional computers less. Should websites look good? I guess they should on mobiles and tablets, and is that something people should be aware of?
Definitely, especially mobiles, because we all know that you look on your mobile phone when you're travelling about, when you're going to work, when you're coming home from work. Yeah. If somebody looks on your website when you're on a mobile and it doesn't look so good, it kind of looks bad against your company and your reputation, don't look, because it's kind of going downhill, because obviously the design could be all over the show. So it's got to be responsive to tablets, mobiles, and desktop/laptop.
Sure. It's just simply because a huge chunk of your traffic is going to be on a portable device.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about like the perception you're giving off to your clients, especially with you, if you're selling products and that kind of stuff, you're advertising your products. It's got to look slick. It's got to look clean. So it's got to look good on all devices.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Again, that kind of comes into responsive designs. Do you want to just talk briefly about what responsive designs are, what people should look for if they've heard the term but they're not quite sure?
Yeah, basically, responsive design means that your website fits on different screen resolutions and screen sizes. So if it fits on a small screen on a computer to a large Mac screen, or to a tablet, to a mobile phone. And just make sure that if you're getting a website that you mention that to the developer, because you want it to be responsive more than not. But yeah, it's very important to have it, to be honest.
Sure. And again, what with sort of social media, Facebook, Twitter, that sort of stuff, blogs, does someone who's got a business who wants to reach people online, be it an online business or even an offline business, do they still need a website now in 2014?
Definitely. I'd say that the first thing like people do if they're looking a business up is they'll search the business on Google, they'll check them out, and if they've not got a website, they'll probably think automatically, is this business real or not? And that is a pretty bad thing to think, but people will look you up, and even just have a small website just for a bit of presence. We get a lot of people like asking us, oh, can you do us a little website? Even though we might not that many people might not go to it. If they do, we're there and we've got some presence on the web. So it's important from a tiny, small business to a huge business. I'd say you've got to have a website. It's worth the money.
Sure. So you wouldn't recommend people just having just a Facebook page, even a business Facebook page. You wouldn't say that alone isn't good enough.
I think it's not too bad, but then I think if people go on your Facebook page and then they'll be looking for a link to your website. So that's the thing, they'll be looking for it and be like, why have they not got a website? It's one of the things. It's kind of like a big circle. And then if you've not got a Facebook page, but you've got a website, they'll be probably thinking, I want to look at the Facebook to see what people like, who likes, who doesn't like, and that kind of stuff. So you need both really, and a Twitter account.
Yeah.
Well.
I suppose. Yeah. I mean, my gut feeling would be if you find someone on, let's say, Twitter or Facebook, and they're saying they're a business, they do whatever they do. If you can't see a link to the website, you think either they've got some really bad marketing or that they've just been set up like yesterday.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, they're like they're new, you know.
Not that like.
And are they worth dealing with? Can I trust them? All that sort of stuff,
definitely.
you know. So yeah, I mean that's a good point. I think websites still have a place in the market.
Yeah.
Where do you see like website design and things going in the next sort of 10 years?
I think.
It's an open-ended question.
I think mainly like obviously the designing end of it's going to change because you look 10 years ago. Like if you see someone's website that was online now from 10 years ago, and then you look at other websites, the difference in design is obviously huge because that's just the development within like years. But I think that'll carry on with like 3D designing. That I think that'll come into effect, like especially with products. Like you see it already where you can go on an e-commerce site, look at the products, and you can zoom 3D around it and check out what it looks like. And I think social media will come into play more because it's massive now, but it's growing and growing and growing. So I think social media is going to start influencing the way websites are built rather than like the other way around. So there's quite a lot I could go on obviously for.
Yeah, sure. I mean that's a good point about social media because again you hear these stories usually from people who perhaps don't know that much about social media in the first place, but the media or whatever is like, oh well, Facebook's reached its critical point and now it's starting to decline or less people are using their accounts anymore, that sort of thing. I mean, again, just your personal opinion, where's social media going? Is it still
funny enough,
still growing?
We've just done a study on this about 2 weeks ago, so you'll see that people might not notice it that much, but with Facebook, when apps come out like WhatsApp, they'll buy them straight away because they want to knock down the small people before they get as big as they are. So that's why Facebook will go nowhere because they've got the money to buy out smaller apps, and then they'll just integrate them. Same with Instagram, they'll just integrate it into their like platform. And you'll see all the time they'll change the design of the website. Like obviously Facebook as a whole, like when the cover photo came out, you had no choice. You had to have it on your website, on your profile.
Yeah.
So they make you have it, but people might not want it. But in a week's time, you'll get used to it, and people forget how it is. It's like a new kind of thing. So they're always changing the platform, the way it's working. So I don't think it's going anywhere, to be honest.
Sure, just everything will become Facebook or Google.
Yeah, that's it.
I agree. Funny enough, I think I clicked on a link only yesterday, and it went to MySpace, and I hadn't been on MySpace for years, and it's completely different from how it used to be. And again, I've probably still got an account on MySpace, but I probably haven't used it for like 5 years or something.
Yeah.
And it's strange, isn't it, how something can be so big one day, and then
like,
virtually disappear.
Friends Reunited was obviously the first media platform designed in 2000, and then Friends in 2002, the American version, and they're just like non-existent now. But they actually started off the idea of Facebook. So now they've gone. So, but I don't think Facebook's going anywhere, to be honest.
I suppose, again, maybe last question to anyone who's watching who wants to get a website designed for their business, their latest new idea. How hard or easy is it for someone who's got a really good idea, really good product, service, whatever it may be, to get, say, Facebook big? I don't necessarily mean in terms of value, but just so people know about them, or even,
I think
a fifth
it
of
comes
that.
down to, first of all, you need to trust your developer. First of all, you need to make sure you trust them. You need to probably either meet them or Skype with them, have a phone call with them, make sure you're on the same wavelength. That's the first thing. And then just make sure that the website's designed to how you want it. Don't say I like it, get the website built, get it online, and then a week later you don't like it, because the developer isn't going to come back to you. Like, well, they will come back to you, but if you start saying, oh, where's that feature, but you've already signed it off, then
Yeah,
so make sure you get everything built at once. It's all set up, and then it goes down to your marketing. Then, so you need a good marketing team. You need to put good money into your marketing. You can't expect to sell 1,000 products a week if you're not marketing, because nobody's going to know about it. So it's all about marketing, the way your website looks, and strong branding. If you get them free, I think you're on a good road, really.
sure. Also goes on, you just reminded me a conversation we had a while ago about getting a cheap website.
Yeah,
Going online somewhere and getting someone in India, Philippines, whoever, to say, "Oh, yeah, I'll make a website for 40 quid,
yeah.
50 quid." Again,
It's not going to work. Basically, it might work.
why don't you think that's a good idea?
Yeah. That's what I mean. You can get one, but then in a month's time, when you want something changing, I'm speaking from experience that you're going to find it hard to get hold of them. The time difference is obviously a big difference as well. They're in bed while you're up, and you're in bed while they're up. So communication's hard. It's not like you can really give them a phone call, because the cost
Sure.
of the phone call. So yeah, it's worth the little bit of extra money to understand your developer and know what you're getting, kind of thing.
Yeah, you need that conversation and communication, don't you?
Yeah.
That's great. Again, hopefully anyone who's listening to this will find that informative in terms of if they want a website designed, and obviously you can design many sites for
Yeah,
them.
we can.
Right. Well, John, thanks very much.
Yeah, no problem.